You have a call at no expense to you from
Stephan Sterns.
Whew, you guys, I'm so shook by the things I'm reading in this new 501-page discovery dump we got, and along with the phone call for
United States of America.
the phone call from May 13th, 2024 between Stephan Sterns and his parents. Now, I just put that up last night. Thank God the DA sent the docket and I and others that evidence, so I know where to check for it now. The phone call, first of all, got on my nerves because Stephan, he's again lying to his parents so much. His parents are like dead broke.
In a couple of days and we'll talk some more. If you wouldn't mind putting a little more money in my commissary as well.
All right, I can't do much stuff because we are really, when I say dead ass broke, I mean dead ass broke, but I'll do what I can.
Okay, I appreciate it.
That could change, but right now, for the next 30 days, we are definitely in lockdown.
Yeah, I understand.
And Stephan's talking about what a you-know-what punch it is for him to have been charged with murder. Oh, the world's most messed up birthday.
Where the hell you been?
I've been trying to call. They've had us on lockdown so often. Every time I've asked them, we've been on a Code 5 lockdown.
Okay.
Which means I've been unable to call. I've been trying to call all weekend, too.
So you've been on lockdown all this time?
Off and on, yes. On the days that I've asked, we've happened to be on lockdown, which means either an incident has happened or they're just so understaffed that they have to lock everyone down. Probably more to do with the staffing.
Okay. How you been?
Well, had the world's shittiest birthday present, so...
Were you expecting these charges?
No.
The murder charge.
Oh, well, we know you didn't.
Okay, so you got blindsided by that.
Yeah. Obviously, it's not true. I never would have wanted her gone for any reason, so, premeditated first degree is kind of a dick punch.
The thing that gets on my nerves about that phone call is it sounds like Stephan is almost, to me, maybe it's just a mouth thing, but he's almost casually chomping on gum, or maybe he has a mint in his mouth, and the way he's so casually, I was just driving around,
Are you able to share the Saturday night before you left for Kissimmee? You were pretty upset about something. Did it have to do anything with Kissimmee and the events that took place the next couple of days?
No.
Okay.
No, I was just stressed out about money and job and everything like that.
Some woman got on a YouTube thing and said that you weren't even at the party.
Party?
Yeah, her birthday party.
Yeah, I hadn't gotten there yet. I went up there Sunday evening and got there after she was done at her party.
Oh, okay.
And we were very happy that I was there. They were very happy that the three of us were together. It was shaping up to be a great week and a great visit. There's no reason for anything to happen that happened.
Is there some explanation of I came up Wednesday morning, met you at the hotel early in the morning, and is there some explanation why you left and went where you went?
I was driving around.
Okay, understood you were driving around, but they know where you were driving around.
Yeah.
And we know.
Okay. I had wanted to grab a few things and get my ducks in a row, kind of prepare myself for whatever was coming, but I couldn't find what I was looking for.
That attitude, it really gets to me as he is lying through the nose to his parents. Okay, you guys probably listened to that. Maybe we'll go into that in more detail. All the lies about, it's not that I'm not cooperating. My lawyer just says don't talk, or I haven't had the opportunity to cooperate. Not until my trial, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I mean, are you cooperating with police about her participation in any of this stuff?
There's been no opportunity for me to cooperate with anything. As I understand, the police keep saying that I'm uncooperative, but they haven't asked me anything to cooperate with, so whatever that means.
So your attorney isn't approaching them and saying, my client would like to speak with you?
No, my attorneys are pretty much saying to keep my mouth shut until the trial starts.
Well, okay.
Okay. I don't know why they were going to wait till the trial, but that's their business, not mine.
They don't want anything to hurt my chances.
Yep, understand.
Infuriating. That's the first thing. But this 501-page document dump is what is shaking me. Before I get into the part that's shaking me the most about these fun new Parent Decision coins and who was the person who texted Stephan to purchase these coins, begged him, before I get into that, let's talk about the 24 photos that the docket sent me. So if you go over to his video, I'll link to him below. There were 24 photos he got. This is separate from this other dump from the DA in Florida. Those 24 photos show a lot of ammunition, stuff I don't like to, weapons. I don't like to put that on YouTube. Go on over to the docket, watch it over there, because I don't know how many of those photos I'll put in this video. And Kendall, the love of his life, that was a girl from California. We've heard Stephan Sterns' mom, Deborah, talk about Kendall before.
Tell me about his relationships growing up as far as intimate. Do you guys know anything about those? Did he date much?
I know some. I know.
She would know more than me.
Okay. His first real love was Kendall, and that was in California. And that's
What age was that?
High school.
Yeah.
High school?
Yeah.
Early high school, like freshman year.
Okay.
Freshman year.
Yeah, 15, 16.
Yeah, and that was, we loved Kendall, and Kendall loved him, he loved her. That was the only reason he didn't want to leave California, was because Kendall was going to be there. And,
Were they the same age?
yes.
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 And then when we came to Florida, there was this
Crazy girl.
other relationships that were just short,
Nothing long term.
Yeah, just cycled through a bunch of girls, and the guys he was hanging out with didn't approve of him because they just seemed like no motivation.
They were being interviewed, Stephan Sterns' parents. They were just getting Stephan's history, like his proclivities, what's he been like before, what kind of girls has he liked. We know that Deborah chimed in because Chris, his dad, said, well, you'd know more about it than I would, talking to the mom, obviously. And Deborah said, Kendall, his first real love was Kendall. That was in California. That was in high school, very early high school, early high school, freshman year. Okay, freshman year, maybe they were like 15 or 16. They loved Kendall. Kendall loved him. Everyone loved Kendall. That was the only reason Stephan didn't want to leave California, was because Kendall was going to be there. They were the same age. And so these photos, the ones I'll probably include in this video, what tripped me out is that Stephan is 37, he's 38 now, but obviously these photos were included in evidence, so he's the kind of guy who saved stuff from Kendall. Now, I won't say her last name, but there's one photo that says, please deliver me as soon as possible so I can cheer up Kendall's sexy Valentine. So I'm assuming that's Kendall writing to Stephan. They were long distance loves at this point. There's a photo of them hugging. Kendall looks like she kind of has dirty blonde hair, kind of brunette, maybe a balayage. How do you pronounce that? Balayage?
Balayage.
Look, even though it's back in the day, Stephan with his frosted tips, they're hugging. There's a note that says, Black and Milds. The smell will always remind me of you. So obviously, I guess Stephan or Kendall smoked Black and Milds cigarettes. I can't believe she sent this way. The return address is His Lonely Valentine, Miss Kendall, and it's her California address. And it's sent to Kendall wants her Stephan Michael, because that's his middle name, Stephan Michael Sterns. That's when Stephan lived at an address in Windermere, Florida. I remember FOIAing the cops for any, body cam or any incidents at that address, and I believe there were none. So there's more, and Kendall's, of course, her face is redacted, but Stephan with his blonde hair looks really young. He's hugging on her. Lots of guns. There's another, she might be kind of laying back on his lap. His hair isn't as blonde there. And there's a compilation of memories from the past 6 months. Enjoy! Pictures, memories, quotes, song lyrics, CDs, and more. Heart, love Kendall. And Stephan, his hair isn't as blonde, but he has that look and the big eyebrows and just looks young and maybe hanging out with some kids, and he's in front of a computer or something. I don't know what they're watching. I was trying to figure it out. And just more weaponry. So yeah, go over to the docket. He has all that. I probably won't put all the weaponry, or I could upload them also on Patreon, like I've done this 501 page document. Okay, so we've talked about Kendall. Another thing that's very interesting, at page 168 out of 501 starts this lovely timeline they've put together of Stephan's movements, especially starting Monday, February 26th, the day Madeline was reported missing. And you can see the car, and of course they've redacted some where we won't see Madeline. We don't want to see her, of course, in the car, just not alive. Him driving her around, running errands on 192. But one thing we have caught also on page 181, there's a note. It says at 1800, 6 p.m., Jennifer goes back to the apartment. Now it is redacted, but we can tell who they're talking about. There's ways to tell. The thing about Jennifer going back to the apartment, if this is true, that Jennifer went back to the apartment at 1800 hours, 6 p.m., the night she, reported, well, she didn't necessarily report Maddie missing, but the night Maddie was reported missing, we can tell in further interviews, Jennifer has lied. She has said she did not return to that apartment until 8 or 9 p.m.
Say it was like somewhere between 8 and 9 o'clock p.m. Did you guys go back out after that? Stephan went back out. And this was last night, right? Yes. Okay.
I always thought that was strange. If the first recorded report of Madeline being missing to the police that Monday, February 26th was somewhere around 4 p.m. or what have you, I have the exact time. Cops didn't show up, we know, until like 3 hours later, until 7:42 p.m. So did Jennifer sneak away at 6 p.m.? Her family was helping search the area for the victim. Was Jennifer back at the condo at 6 p.m. and was Sterns there? What were they doing? Were they helping clean up? What were they doing? Because Jennifer, in all her interviews, has not said she went back to the apartment, the condo, that early. I always thought it was strange that she didn't go back. Why wouldn't she go back to look for Maddie? Why wouldn't she go up to room number 4? Now we learn with this new document dump, and a lot of it is the same, but there's a lot of unique things in there too that are really shocking me. She didn't go back. She told the cops until 8 or 9 or later, whatever. I remember hearing her tell Detective Tagler, Myra Tagler, that. Now, all of a sudden, we learn in the timeline, she went back at 6 p.m. Another shady thing. Okay, another thing that just tripped me out. I don't know how many things I'm going to find, but I was like, let me just put all this at least in one video. Page 209 of 501. There's this Amazon Fun New Parents Decision Coin double-sided mom-dad turn coin. We've heard about coins before, but now we know Madeline actually sent the text message to Stephan that contained a photograph of the 2 coins. These are things I didn't know before, and I am actually going to record my screen right now to show you guys how I figured this out. Page 486. Okay, record. There's a portion that starts talking about on December 16th, 2023 at 0047 hours. So what is that? 2400. So that's like 1:47 a.m. First of all, that's pretty early in the morning. I wonder if Madeline was on Christmas break then. But this is when Stephan has moved out. He should be back in Northport. So Maddie's texting Stephan. This is how I know it's her. Normally I had at first erroneously assumed that perhaps it was someone else, Jennifer texting Stephan. they're talking about conceiving a child. Is he talking about this with Jennifer, or could it have been that ex-Disney woman he was seeing? I know she doesn't have any children. She's 40 years old. And I was thinking maybe it was her. She was texting him. I don't know. I know they didn't see each other anymore, but I know, according to Gray Hughes Investigates, when he did an interview with that woman, and I won't say her name, there was discussion potentially, allegedly, of them conceiving a child. So my mind kind of went with, oh, this is some adult woman, Jennifer or that other woman, texting Stephan about, oh, let's get these coins. No, it was Maddie, and it made me feel even more sorry for her. So what I'm going to show you is right now, I'm highlighting from the new document dump this paragraph, and I'm copying it, and I usually throw it over on text edit. And so I'll show you here when I paste it, it shows on December 16th, 2023 at 1:47 a.m. And then even though it's redacted, blank sends a text message. When I copy the text, it copies over DELINE. So it's obviously saying Madeline. Madeline is sending a text message to Stephan that contained a photograph of 2 coins. The coins had the inscription of New Parent Decision Coin and appeared to be from Amazon. Indeed, I looked it up on Amazon and everything. I have the link below. And the tripped out part is Maddie sent 2 follow-up texts. Maddie sent 2 follow-up texts to Stephan, says this new report, stating, "We need this. Get it for us, please." So they searched Amazon, and the detective's report says, a search of Amazon for these coins revealed these coins are for new parents, where one can flip a coin to decide if it is the mother's or father's time to complete a task for a newborn. Due to the fact that this conversation was not near Father's Day or Mother's Day leads one to believe Madeline and Stephan had possibly spoke about conceiving a child. That part is new. That part is new to me. I know things that stick out new to me are likely new to you too, as much as we've gone through this. And sometimes that happens where things aren't, fully redacted. You can still see it. So by copying this text over, copy, and I'll do it one more time just to show you, paste, we definitely see it was Madeline sending that text. And what's important to me about that is just how groomed Maddie was. No wonder Jennifer is like, I'm afraid of a Woody Allen situation where the stepdaughter falls in love with the, and she switches it and says, no, that the dad grooms the child and they run off together. This just blows my mind that Stephan had this girl thinking, oh yeah, we can potentially have a baby together. Just imagine how much he groomed Maddie since an 8-year-old girl, and we're going to go over her birthmark, another thing that tripped me out last night. It was just so disturbing, and I probably won't, maybe I'll put that on screen for a flash, but it's disturbing. How much he groomed this girl into thinking they were in love, how confusing it must have been to her, and how he played against her mother and the, Jennifer not being necessarily as attentive and loving of a mother as she should have been, and how Stephan just weaseled his way in there and played that up. So as an 8-year-old girl, he's in there harming her, but then telling her who knows what, this is love or whatever. And so as early as December 16th, 2023, in the middle of the night, Madeline is sending Stephan this text message saying, get these New Parent Decision Coins for us from Amazon. We need these. Get it for us, please. Now, was Maddie actually pregnant? We don't know that. We still don't know that. I know there's been talk going around that she wasn't, and maybe she absolutely wasn't. But the fact that she was discussing this with him just shows me, just like the cop wrote this, Stephan had possibly spoke about conceiving a child. So not only is he grooming this girl since she was 8 years of age, all the way up to her 13th birthday and beyond, doing whatever he did, he's like telling his parents, I didn't start it. Didn't start what? I don't know what he meant. But his dad was like, look, yeah, you might not have started it, but you participated in it, which is just as bad. I love his dad more so. He's more clear. Like, look, Stephan, you're facing 40 years here, so we're going to be gone. No one's going to be here for you. Not your mom, not your dad, not Rick. not whomever. And then Stephan turns it again. Woe is me. I don't know, even know if I can make it another 40 years, you know. Maybe he can't. Who knows? But that's a whole nother video.
Basically, obviously there's concerns that they're artificially inflating everything up as high as they can possibly do it.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
So I don't know
Little sticks.
what the plan is there. If they're just trying to scare me into pleading down, or I don't know.
No, they're not.
Okay.
They're just trying to hurt me as much as possible. And then I ended up just kind of driving around aimlessly.
Okay. I mean, you asked me to come up, and we hardly spent 35 minutes the entire time I was there throughout the entire day. And it's like, I wasn't sure why I was there, and then I was caught off guard by what happened later that afternoon, and obviously haven't seen you since.
Yeah, well, I just felt like I needed an ally there.
Well, I wish you had come to me and talked to me about some stuff, and maybe we could have helped you out in some way, giving you some advice. But certainly, under the extenuating circumstances, what was later discovered obviously couldn't help you any further than what had already taken place. So, the most logical thing would be to have, face up to it and have a conversation with the appropriate authorities or get an attorney or something. But be that as it may.
Well, we got a copy of your birth certificate for Sheila Marino and for your case. We're trying to get hospital records from the TBI, but Sarasota Memorial says you were never a patient there, so that was ridiculous, because we know you were.
Yeah. And were you able to find my Social Security card?
Yes.
Good. I presume it was probably in that mouse toy box with everything?
I don't know.
No, it wasn't. No, I don't recall where it was, but it wasn't. It wasn't there. But
I don't remember if you had confirmed or not. Were you able to find my watch?
No, we weren't.
Yeah.
So
there was no popcorn box.
Little silver mouse
we already
toy.
had your Social Security card, so why did you think we needed? I already knew your number. Why did you think we need to find the card?
Just in case I was going to need it in the future.
Okay. Well, we have that.
How long I'm going to be here, or if or when I'll ever be released, or if you guys are going to be around at that point. But birth certificate, Social Security card might be things I'll need in that case.
Well, the penalty for the crimes you have been charged with carry a minimum 40-year sentence. So obviously we're going to be gone. Rick will be gone. We'll all be gone. I mean, we're sad about that, obviously, because there won't be anybody here for you when you come out.
Yeah, and I'll be lucky if I have another 40 years left in me either, so.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess everything sticks.
I wish there was a way that, you and I can have a conversation, all of us could have a conversation to understand what's taken place, how this came about, how you arrived here, because it would help us better understand the situation, because we're at a loss for understanding how all this came about. I mean, we're just totally baffled.
Well, I didn't start it.
Oh, you didn't start it, but you participated in it, which is just as bad as not starting it, but that's for another day. Again, I don't know if
details or anything, but, I mean, if you'd like to schedule a visit with me or something, maybe we can find some way to talk.
I don't know. I think we're always going to be recorded, so there won't be an opportunity to do that.
But my point is, Stephan was grooming Maddie. Not only did he have the hubris and the evil and the malintent to do all the harmful things he did to her, but then he's like trying to Jedi mind trick this girl into saying, oh yeah, we could have a baby together. So he probably really was gassing her head up and saying, yeah, don't worry, I know you hate your mom or you guys don't get along or whatever, or even if she kicks you out when you're 18, he's probably telling her, don't worry, you and I can live together. We can have a baby together. And so no wonder Jennifer's talking about the Woody Allen situation. She could see the writing on the wall. I believe she knew what was happening. I believe just Jennifer didn't necessarily put a stop to it, obviously. This makes me so sad for Maddie. Not only this, but the other birthmark information I found out last night. So I'm going to search for that too. Certain things were more redacted in previous iterations of the PDFs we received. So this, starting on, and I don't really want to put a lot of this on the screen, but starting on page 488. It's really sensitive. It's going over all the horrible things that Stephan did to Maddie. I even tried to do a comparison of the files and show me the differences on Adobe, but it didn't quite work because they're giving us all these different documents in different amounts of pages. It's not like here's a 21-page PDF and here's another 21-page PDF and tell me the differences. No, it's a lot different stuff and some stuff is less redacted. So I'm looking back on that huge 896 previous searchable, I have it searchable here, I'll link to that below too, Sterns redacted document, case supplemental reports. Now, previously, back on page 342, they started telling us all these horrible videos, images of all the crappy stuff Sterns did to her. Now, if we go to page 343, and it starts with the dates, with all the horrible stuff Stephan did to Maddie. But when you get down to the offense from August 10th, 2022, and even August 2nd, starting there, 2022, we have a little bit more information. I'm just going to be trying to be as tactful as I can here, and victim focused, and just still trying to give Maddie her dignity. She was 11 years old and 5 months old, and Stephan is, doing stuff to her that he shouldn't, but it's her, Madeline's identity is confirmed by a small birthmark. Now, we know about the beauty mark up here and everything. I'm not talking about these, the ones that Stephan told the cops that Madeline had, a beauty mark near her mouth and everything. I'm talking about in an area where she wouldn't normally be identified. You'd have to have some identifying factor. Of course, you can identify a face if something's happening to a person untoward and you see their face and okay, we know that's them. But I feel like Maddie is speaking out even after death. Her birthmark in an area where, we'll just say we remember Stephan's kinks in that area. Well, previously that was hidden. How Madeline's identity was confirmed by something we didn't know. But now in the new documents, they're telling us how exactly they know it's Madeline. It's a small birthmark right above a certain area. And that same mark is seen in several other photographs of her. Now, I hate to God that it happened, but thank God these identifying marks are there. We know Stephan Sterns has certain identifying marks on himself, and now we're learning through this new document, Maddie has identifying marks on herself where we don't need to see her face. You know how Jennifer Soto asked the cops, well, these images you're going to show me, am I going to see her face? And they're like, well, yeah. And some of them, they were like, well, we don't quite know what all we have yet, because of course they were still uncovering the horrible, horrific images from his phone. But now, after all this time has passed, there's more information coming out to let us know, yes, indeed, they're able to identify Madeline as his victim. That's how they knew these 1,700 images and videos and stuff, they don't have to contain Maddie's face, because of identifying marks like the small birthmark she has. And so not only did they identify Stephan by his unique birthmarks and everything, now we learn they identified Maddie too by her unique birthmarks. And that's horrible to think about, but it's good in terms of it feels like Maddie is fighting even in death, even from heaven, to point the finger at Stephan. She had to be so confused. I mean, she told her counselor, she didn't like Stephan. He was lazy. He was a layabout. He just eats all their food and all that. And she just had to be confused. And so Jennifer and Stephan break up and Stephan moves away. She starts doing better in school and everything, and her mood picks up, but she's also still got to be so confused in terms of maybe she did miss him in a way just because he groomed her for so long. And so she sent this December 16th, it's right before Christmas, and I don't know, I think he was visiting around this time. Maybe she sent that text when he was there. I don't know the clear dates of when he literally visited, because Jennifer even said in one of her interviews, it was around Christmas, and it's like they wanted to see each other again and they were missing him or whatever. I don't know if Maddie was really missing him, but Jennifer talked about that. Jennifer's never clear about, okay, he visited on this date and that date and this date. It was always kind of like, I don't know, he was around this day, he was around this, he was around that. Anyway, Christmas time does make us nostalgic and we want to be close to family. But unfortunately for Maddie, the guy who was in her life like a father figure was using and abusing her and lying to her and making her think, oh yeah, we should get these new Parent Decision coins. If Maddie was fearing as a 13-year-old girl, oh no, in 5 years, my mom might kick me out of here. How am I going to make it on my own? We see these horror stories all the time of young people being kicked out or runaways, and they get into these horrible situations just because they don't have the protection and the love of home. So as Maddie is a 13-year-old, is she thinking, oh, here's the countdown. In 5 years, I got to be able to make it on my own and pay my own mortgage and figure out what to do in life. And to have some user and abuser there like Stephan Sterns, gassing her head up, yeah, we can have a baby together, and we can do this. No wonder she's confused and sending him this message. Like, we need these new parent coins so we can be a new, maybe Maddie was thinking we can build a family. And, sometimes lonely young girls are like, I can have a baby, not realizing all the work babies take. They can say, I can have a baby and someone to love me and someone to take care of, and I can love. And maybe that would have been her thinking. And we don't know if Maddie ever was impregnated or not. But now we see the discussion was there. This grown man gassing up the head of some young girl, telling her, like, yeah, we can have a baby. So it's not clear if those coins were ever purchased. And I did see something about Naples on there. If you look, it says delivering to Naples. And it has area code 34108. So Naples, how close is that to Northport? That's quite a ways. An hour and 23 minutes. So how close is Kissimmee to Naples? I'm just wondering whose account that was. And that's still kind of far too. Naples to Kissimmee. Driving. Oh no, Naples, Florida. It's giving me Naples, Italy. Oh my goodness. Naples, Florida. Okay, that's even farther. 3 hours. I don't know whose Amazon account that was, because it's saying delivering to Naples, which is weird, but they're not really signed in, so maybe that's the problem. If they're not signed in, it was just trying to track it. But it's sad, this new baby gift. And why was Maddie just saying, we need these? What was the urgency there? Now, a lot of redactions are in here. We'll see a lot of black pages, and it's going to take time for me to go over. We need this, she said. We need this. Get it for us, please. 2 follow-up texts. So she's sending the text message in the middle of the night to Sterns, a week or so before Christmas. New Parent Decision coins. 2 follow-up texts. We need this. Get it for us, please. What's the urgency? It's about who will complete the task for the newborn. Again, I can't let go of this because cops were asking about pregnancy. The cops were asking about pregnancy tests. They were asking this stuff of Jen. So obviously they were thinking it. I don't know where this comes from, but it really tripped me out. Now it's going to take me more time to figure out what else is different in here because I can't do it electronically. I'm like visually going through and praying to see what's going on in this document. So again, I'll put all the links below. Let's close with 2 Corinthians 4:13 through 14. Yet we have the same spirit of faith as he had who wrote in Scripture, I believed, therefore I spoke. We also believe, therefore we also speak, knowing that he who raised the Lord Jesus will also raise us with Jesus and will present us along with you in his presence. Okay, that's it. I better go now. I'm going to try and keep going through this document. I've got the other case document I want to give you guys in that Andrew Humiston case, that 15-year-old out of Falls City, Washington, who unfortunately did away with his whole family except his 11-year-old sister survived. There's a lot I want to get out, but I want to do it in a way that makes sense. If you want to read the documents now, check the link below. And thank you so much for watching. Take care.